Welcome to The Woman in Black Tells a Story. Tonight, the bell ringer's daughter. The autumn of 1893 brought Dr. Edmund Harper to the quiet village of Croft St. Mary. A scholar of medieval church architecture, Harper had heard of the peculiar bell tower of St. Bartholomew's, an oddity among Norfolk churches. Its spire, leaning ever so slightly, seemed to defy its age and gravity, and local legend whispered of strange happenings within. Upon arrival, Harper lodged at the Grey Fox Inn, a place as weathered as the village itself. The innkeeper, a stout man named Harris, seemed reluctant to speak of the church when Harper mentioned its interest. "Best leave St. Bart's alone," Harris muttered, his voice low. "It's not a place for the curious." Harper, of course, was undeterred. He had spent years chasing stories of haunted cloisters and cursed abbeys, and he prided himself on his skepticism. The following morning he made his way to the church. St. Bartholomew's stood on a slight rise, its grey stone slick with moss. The bell tower loomed above, its tilt more pronounced up close. The iron gate creaked as Harper pushed it open. Inside, the air was cool, heavy with the scent of damp stone and old wood. He began his examination, noting the intricacies of the nave and the peculiar carvings of the chancel screen. His attention soon turned to the tower. The ladder leading to the belfry was narrow and steep, but Harper ascended without hesitation. The belfry was dimly lit, the only light filtering through the slats of the tower's louved windows. The great bell, cast in 1642, hung silently. Yet Harper's focus was drawn to the walls, where faint, crude carvings appeared. A closer inspection revealed symbols and words scratched into the stone, marks of protection or warding. Perhaps. Harper traced the grooves with his fingers, pondering their origin. A sudden sound broke the stillness, the faint, high-pitched laughter of a child. Harper froze. The laugh came again, closer this time, and was followed by the rustle of movement. Turning quickly, he saw nothing, only shadows and the empty tower. He descended in haste and confronted Harris that evening. The innkeeper seemed reluctant, but eventually relented. "It's the bell ringer's daughter," Harris said, pouring himself a stiff drink. 50 years ago, old Timothy Wren was a bell ringer here. His daughter Annabel was a strange girl, always in the tower, always listening to the bells toll. One day she climbed too high, they say, and fell. Her father swore it wasn't an accident, but the villagers, they muttered about her dabbling in things best left alone. Harper pressed for more, but Harris shook his head. "You've heard enough." That night Harper slept fitfully. His dreams were vivid. A young girl in a tattered dress, her face pale and eyes wide, standing in the base of the bell. She lifted her hand to point at him, her mouth opening in a silent scream. The next day Harper returned to the church, his curiosity overpowering his unease. This time he bought a lantern and ascended the tower as the sun dipped low. The carvings seemed to pulse in the flickering light, and as Harper inspected them again, he noticed a word etched repeatedly: Annabel. The air grew thick, oppressive. The bell began to sway, though there was no wind. Harper stepped back, heart pounding, as the bell tolled, a deafening sound that reverberated through his chest. He turned to flee, but stopped short. Standing in the corner was the figure from his dream. She was slight, her dress grey with dust, her hair hanging in limp tangles. Her eyes locked onto his, and her mouth moved, though no sound came. Harper stumbled, his lantern falling and extinguishing itself. In the dark, her form grew sharper, closer. Her hand reached out. He fled the tower's ladders slick beneath his trembling hands. The bell rang out again, its tone sharp and mournful, chasing him down. He burst into the nave, collapsing on the stone floor, gasping for breath. Harper left Croft St. Mary the next morning, his research unfinished. He told no one what he had seen, though Horace noticed his pale face and shaking hands. Years later, a visitor to St. Bartholomew reported hearing the bell toll in the dead of night, though the village had long ceased to use it. And those who dared to climb the tower spoke of a girl's laughing, echoing in the dim light, her shadow flickering just out of reach. The end. Until next time.